To Facebook now, the company getting ready to make some major changes and pledging to be more transparent in light of the Cambridge Analytica scandal that exposed as many as 87 million users' information. Mark Zuckerberg announcing that Facebook is going to be making itself more transparent to prevent potential Russian meddling in the 2018 midterm elections by hiring thousands more workers to verify political ads.
And this morning we have more of Savannah's exclusive interview with Facebook's #2, Sheryl Sandberg. Sandberg talks about getting that trust back, taking responsibility for what went wrong, and how the social media company goes forward from here.
Facebook has a trust problem. Would you agree?
Absolutely. We know we didn't do enough to protect people's data, and I'm really sorry about that, and Mark's really sorry about that. And what we're doing now is taking real action. So starting on Monday, we're going to start rolling out to everyone in the world a notice at the top of Newsfeed, which tells everyone what apps they've connected to and gives them a very easy way to delete.
Why do you think this happened? How do you diagnose the problem?
It's a good and important question, and one we've certainly spent a lot of time thinking about. Here's what I think the understanding is, and we're still going to learn more over time. At the highest level, we were very focused on building social experiences. And that's a good thing. That's why you can listen to your friend's playlist or know it's your friend's birthday. But what we didn't do until now was take a broader look at all the ways data could be misused and be more proactive and more restrictive.
Whether it's meddling Russian fake news on Facebook or this latest privacy scandal with Cambridge Analytica, it does often feel that Facebook's initial response is to dismiss and downplay.
Let's talk about election interference. It is definitely the case that in 2016 we were behind and we did not understand that form of election interference. When you go back to what people thought of as security around then, we thought of hacking. That's what everyone was worried about with security, and we were very focused on preventing that and preventing that. And then when this form of the Russian Internet Research Agency was putting false deceptive content, we didn't see it.
But Mark Zuckerberg said it's literally a crazy idea that the Russians would be trying to use Facebook to pass fake news. And I know he's apologized.
He's apologized. That was a flip comment.
He said it was a crazy idea. He didn't say, you know what? I'm going to investigate this. Let's get to the bottom of this.
And he apologized for that. We did investigate, and we did the investigate. And now we're ahead. We also, and this is really important, we still want to make sure the good happens on Facebook. So I was in Houston earlier this week. I met two brothers, Nathan and Austin. When Hurricane Harvey happened, they jumped in a boat and they rescued 20 people, one of whom was an elderly woman that they say wouldn't have made it. An ambulance couldn't get to her. The way they did that is people shared publicly where they were on Facebook.
There's no question that people, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You have 2 billion users. People do love Facebook. They do appreciate it. A lot of good comes out of it. I think that's why it hurts. That's why the breach of trust feels so profound.
And that's why it feels so profound to me.
Do you take it personally?
Very personally. Look, I run this place with Mark, and I take responsibility for the operational weaknesses we have, for the things we didn't do and we didn't do soon enough. And I care so much that they were able to find people in Houston who publicly shared where they were. They have to trust us to do that. So whether it's the next hurricane or the next someone's birthday, daily activity, if we don't have the trust of people, they won't be able to share, and the good we do goes away. And that's something that I take incredibly personally.
Facebook CEO, of course, Mark Zuckerberg, is going to be on the Hill Tuesday and Wednesday this week. It's going to be very interesting to hear lawmakers grill him about some of exactly what we heard Savannah grilling Sheryl Sandberg about.
Our cameras will be there, that's for sure. I thought it was interesting, too, what Sheryl Sandberg, what she ended with, which ultimately is this is a business and you want to keep your customers.
Yeah, and we're talking about Facebook now, but the reality is there are other companies in that space that engage in similar practices and do things. And it's just going to be a matter of time before I think some of that probably comes to light.
We'll see if that shifts, if it changes.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.